types of language and also the terms of communications. This is lecture number 1, module A, beginner levels. So first of all, we define what is language. So language is the source or tool of communications. By the help of language, we can convey, import and transfer our views and thought to other persons. In older time, when people used to live in caves, there was no concept of language. At that time, people communicate or the converse with each other. How could communicate or converse with each other when people used to live in caves? By the help of gestures, marks, symbol or the postures. When people used to live in caves. At present time, there are a lot of languages spoken and understood in entire world. We learned that what is language? Language is the source of communication. So we must know what is communication. So here I define communication. What is communication? I define communication in a simple way. Communication is the embodying. What? Communication is the embodying or the transferring or exchanging. What exchanging? Exchanging of the informations by speaking, writing or using other mediums. There are many other mediums. So there are the many effective means. Now here I discuss the effective means of communication. What are the effective means of communication? By the help of these effective communications, we can communicate or the converse with each other. So main effective means of communications are television, radio, computer, telephone, mobile and many others, by which we can import or exchange the informations to other persons. So language is the one of the means. So I discussed what are the means of communication. There are many means of communication, but language is the one of them. So by the help of language, we can also communicate or converse or transfer our views and thoughts to other persons. Here then I discuss types of language. What are the types of language? There are two types of the language. Or the language can be categorized into two types. The first one is developed languages. So what are the developed languages? Such language which have 4 skills: writing, reading, speaking and listening are said to be the developed languages. In developed languages can be speak, can be listen, can be spoken, can be listened, can be written and can be read. Or we can such language which can read, write, speak and listen is said to be the developed languages. Developed languages are not many as compared to the undeveloped languages, and undeveloped languages are the many as compared to the developed languages. So what are the examples of the developed languages? English, Arabic, Persian and Urdu, and our mother tongue is Hindi is also a developed languages. So you can find the books, magazines, periodical magazines of Sindhi language in such language which has 4 skills are said to be the developed languages. Then I define undeveloped languages. What is the undeveloped languages? Undeveloped languages have 2 skills. Or we can say can be speak and listen. Right? So undeveloped language, I already told that undeveloped languages are the many as compared to the developed languages. The undeveloped languages also called the local or the area languages. There are so many languages are spoken and understood and throughout undeveloped languages or even in Pakistan. So dear students, today we learn about three things. So because we are learning the language, so first of all we must know what is language. We must have a concept of language. So what is language? So what is language? Language is a source of the tool of communication. We can communicate. We can understand our views with each other. If we have a language, we can understand the views and thoughts with each other. If we don't have a language, we can't understand. So I told you that in olden time, when people used to live in caves, at that time there was no concept of language. At that time, people can also communicate. Could communicate or converse with each other. How can they communicate? How they could communicate? By the help of gestures, postures, nods and symbols. But at present time there are many languages spoken and understood. So then I define the communication. Communication is the encoding or transferring of the informations. And then I discuss the means of communication. What are the means of communication? With the help of these means, we can communicate or converse with each other. So these are the main effective means of the communication: television, radio, computer, telephone, or mobile. There are many others. Then I discuss the types of language. There are two types of language. Developed language have 4 skills: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Then is the undeveloped language has 2 skills: speaking and the listening. And that's all about you. This is the lecture number 1. Tomorrow, inshallah, I will discuss the lecture number 2, beginner level, module A, which is the importance or significance of English language. Thank you very much.